From 17 mayoral candidates down to 2, it's all led up to today's runoff election as Denverites elect the city's next mayor and council members. Good evening and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Amy Wattis. Ballots, they're still being counted at this hour and we are expecting another round of results at 8:30. First, we start with a race for mayor. Let's start at Union Station. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon is at Mike Johnston's watch party. He led all mayoral candidates in April's election in votes and is hoping for more of the same tonight. Colette.
The party here is optimistic, and you can just feel the energy from all of these people who are packed in here at Union Station right now to celebrate Mike Johnston's campaign. As of that 7 o'clock ballot drop, he does have a larger lead over Kelly Brough than he did in the initial election just a couple of months ago. That initial election, just around a 4% lead. This one closer to just under a 10% lead right now. The crowd here, they're feeling like this could be Mike Johnston's night. Take a look at some of these people who showed up to celebrate. Now, out of those 17 candidates, like you said, Amy, it was a really crowded race. He's one of the last two standing, vying to be Denver's next leader. We've reported extensively on the race and the big differences in these last two candidates. Johnston, he's a former state senator who ran for governor in 2018. He's also worked as a school principal in the past, and when he was asked about the East High School shooting that injured two deans, Johnston said the Denver Public School Board needed to reverse their policy around school resource officers and let the different school communities decide whether or not they want SROs on campus. He's also said the most important issue of this election is homelessness in Denver, saying it overlaps with many of the other big issues like crime and affordable housing. Since I've been here, I've ran into at least two of the other candidates who were in that crowded mayoral election. One of them, State Representative Leslie Herod, said that it was when she actually sat down and met with Mike Johnston that her mind changed, and that's why she's endorsing him here tonight.
You know, when I sat down with Mike and he asked me for my endorsement, I said, how do you answer to this, you know? They have this also sense of justice, this sense of like, let's fight for everyone, you know? And that showed me who he really is at home.
So it was his kids that really sold her on why she is here tonight, why she has endorsed Mike Johnston in this mayoral election. Coming up a little bit later at 8:30, we'll dive into the issues that really resonated with her because Mike Johnston still has not shown his face out here tonight. I've been told he's upstairs somewhere with his family. As those ballots keep rolling in, we hope to have that other update at 8:30. Amy?
Thanks, Colette. And Kelly Brough is at Real Works Denver tonight, and so is Denver 7's Rob Harris. And Rob, what is the energy like among her supporters? Looks busy back there.
Yeah, Amy, definitely busy, very loud. They got some music bumping, and they got a DJ, they got a disco ball. So that part of the vibe is very energetic and excited. As for the people, it's kind of more of a sit back and wait. We had some of the campaign staffers from Kelly Brough's campaign come to the stage and basically tell supporters to hang tight for the second ballot drop here at 8:30. That first ballot drop, as we've been talking about, gave Mike Johnston a lead of about 8,000 votes. So maybe not exactly the start to the party that the Brough supporters were hoping for. Having said that, we talked to Brough before those first ballots dropped at 7 o'clock, and even at that point, she was telling us that she viewed herself as the underdog in this race, particularly when you're factoring in the money that was coming in.
I totally agree I'm the underdog. I think they've got millions more dollars than we do, but I've been an underdog my whole life, so I'm fine, scrappy and fighting from the back, and wait till you see the crew that's going to be here tonight. They look just like me.
So Brough says she's used to feeling like the underdog. She also says she's used to being the first woman in several positions she's held. She's hoping that at the end of tonight she can add Denver's first woman mayor to her resume. That's what her supporters are hoping too. So they're just enjoying the bar, the DJ, the food trucks, and they're waiting for those next results to drop at 8:30. Amy?
Thank you. And we will be checking in with Colette and Rob in our next half hour. Meanwhile, we are joined now by Denver 7 Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovalecki. And Tony, this race has tightened in recent weeks.
It has tightened in recent weeks, Amy, but here's what reality is right now. Those first numbers coming out with 117,000 votes in, that's a vast majority. These are ballots that were cast up until midnight last night. This is the early vote. 38% of those voters were people 65 years and older. Clearly, the Brough camp wanted to be much stronger at this position, either within 1,000 votes or so, or probably needing a lead. This could be close to an insurmountable lead that Mike Johnston has right now because she's down 8,000 votes. There's probably 60,000 votes left to count. We did some quick math for Kelly Brough to be able to catch up in this situation with those 60,000 votes. She'd have to get about 57% of the remaining uncounted votes. That's a large ask at this point. So again, the Johnston camp very pleased with those numbers early on. The Brough camp has to be critically concerned because it's not as close as they needed. Quite frankly, they probably wanted a lead at this point because in that general election back in April, Kelly Brough actually lost votes as the late vote came in. So again, very telling at this point. The 830 is critical for her camp. She needs to jump up and jump up big with that number. We're going to compare those numbers when they come out at 830 to what happened 2 months ago to see if she's tracking at that same point. But what we see right now is this is significantly positive news for Mike Johnston and the Johnston camp. Amy?
All right, Tony, thank you. We'll check back with you around 8:30. And we are also following a couple of city council races tonight. Districts 7 through 10 are all up for grabs. The only non-competitive race of the night is in District 7. Flor Alvarez will take the seat after Nick Champion withdrew his bid in April. In District 8, Northeast Denver, Brad Rivera is facing Chantel Lewis. Now at this hour, it's looking like a dead heat, both Rivera and Lewis with nearly 5,000 votes each. Rivera is a former leader of educational nonprofit Colorado Succeeds. Lewis works at the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless and is a former board member at RTD. Now in North Denver, Darrell Watson is running against incumbent City Councilwoman Candy Sidabaca. Now it's been a hotly contested race for District 9 at this election cycle, and right now it does also still appear that Darrell Watson is holding a solid lead over Sidabaca with nearly 7,000 votes and Sidabaca with just under 4,000. And moving to Denver's District 10, where incumbent Chris Hines is looking to win a second term against challenger Shannon Hoffman. Chris Hines currently holds a narrow lead over Shannon Hoffman. They are separated by just about 2,000 votes, so we will see what happens here.